Do you think this could be a good combo for the Ravens if we had Lamar Jackson and Antonio Brown together?
Hell no. And let me be very, very clear about that. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the abilities of Antonio Brown, who I believe is all-world. Anytime you go 6 consecutive years with a minimum of 101 receptions and a minimum of 1,284 yards over the course of 6 years, that is just absolutely sensational. And we all know that Antonio Brown is an all-world receiver. I just can't emphasize this enough. He has proven he cannot be trusted. His behavior is too unpredictable. And in an NFL locker room, in any locker room, in any professional sports, you simply can't have that. This is a man that has thrown Big Ben Roethlisberger under the bus, Juju Smith-Schuster under the bus. As a result, it threw Mike Tomlin under the bus. He goes to Oakland. He calls Mike Mayock out of his name and cusses him out in front of the team. He's supposed to be on a conference call with John Gruden, set up by Drew Rosenhaus. Not only does he stand up John Gruden, but ultimately when they get him on the phone, you know, he's taping the conversation without their knowledge. This is the kind of stuff that he was doing. Drew Rosenhaus decides to let him go. And then lo and behold, what does he say? Because I got on Drew Rosenhaus about publicizing the fact that he's letting go of Antonio Brown at this particular moment in time. And Drew Rosenhaus, according to my sources, told folks, what the hell was I supposed to do? He said, if I tried to handle it professionally the way that I always do, he said what would happen is that this guy would probably be taping the conversation or something. He said, I couldn't trust him to just honor that code and deal with it as a professional because he's a bit loose right now. We saw all the things that he's done on social media. It's a Thursday, as Max Kellerman always laughs about Ryan Clark. It's a Thursday. All Antonio Brown has to do is shut the hell up until Tuesday morning, and $29.125 million is guaranteed. The man couldn't shut up. He goes to the New England Patriots. They tell him, be quiet, with this woman that was making accusations about sexual assault charges against him. Be quiet, stay away from her. Not only does he not listen, he goes on social media and tries to undress and attack her. Then, when he gets let go, he calls out owner Robert Kraft. And then there's a video of him going off on the mother of his children right in front of the police officer, and he cursing out police officers. So you betray players, you betray teammates, okay? You go after owners and executives. You know, in your personal life, we all know what that's about because he showed us and told us his behavior is too unpredictable. He cannot be trusted, and you can't take a young star like Lamar Jackson, who is still evolving as a throwing quarterback. He can run with the football. He's sensational. But throwing the football, he's still evolving in that regard. And I'm supposed to trust a veteran all-world receiver like Antonio Brown, as temperamental as he can be, with Lamar Jackson? Hell no. I wouldn't bring him anywhere near the Baltimore Ravens locker room.
We agree about that, Stephen A. I agree with every single word you just said, emphatically. But here's the thing. Let's ask ourselves a series of questions here. Should the Ravens give him a job? Nope. Has he earned another job? Does he deserve it? Nope. Would you trust him? Nope. Let me ask you this. If the Ravens were to sign him, should the Chiefs be worried? Because that's a yes. The Ravens should be worried for sure, but so should the Chiefs, and that's the problem. AB will certainly get another opportunity once he gets some sense of awareness. Right now, AB, everyone knows that what you're doing, at least it looks to the rest of the world, certainly looks to me, like you realize, they're not going to give me a job if I don't go through these motions. But people can see you're going through the motions. You haven't bought in. You know, Michael Vick is the perfect example of a guy who never got it. Even in terms of, he talks about now his practice habits and all that stuff once upon a time. And then he eventually, his behavior off the field led him to prison. And he really made changes, internal changes. And when he got out, he was a different person in many respects. He had genuinely internalized the lessons of his life to that point, of what he needed to correct. And it was obvious, and it's still obvious. AB has not done that. He hasn't. And so he doesn't deserve it. And it will very likely, Stephen A., blow up. Certainly you can't trust him. But the way he runs routes, as quick as he is, as great as he is when he's on the field, You make the point. Another thing I laugh at, Stephen A., is you make the point Tom Brady, family man that he is, took him into his house, said, here, no, you can stay with me, with my family, because he was so desperate for a receiver, and that's how great AB is. So every single thing you said is right, Chet. He doesn't deserve it. He's probably going to blow up. You can't trust him. And the Chiefs, not just the Ravens, but the Chiefs should be worried if Baltimore were to sign him, and that tells you a lot.
Yeah, guys, we're in such a weird time, and now, scouts of these different teams are trying to figure out ways to kind of get a bead on some of these young players, and by having opportunities to have relationships with them and training guys. I got to talk to someone from the Baltimore Ravens, and they talked about culture and how lucky and blessed they were to be with that team, and how they understand about chemistry, how they understand building a foundation, building organizations. And I think they will look at this and understand that the chemistry and the culture and that locker room is built a certain way, and it's built around love and admiration for their young quarterback. A young quarterback that Stephen A. mentioned earlier is still evolving as a passer. We've seen Antonio Brown when he doesn't get his targets. We've seen Antonio Brown when a read is missed and he's wide open, or when there's an errant ball thrown. And so the Baltimore Ravens, when they drafted Lamar Jackson, they said, you know what, we're going to build everything around your skill set. Well, I'm going to tell y'all, Antonio Brown fits any skill set. Antonio Brown, the player, can play with people who can't throw footballs, who can throw footballs, who can't diagram stuff for people to get open, who can diagram things for people to get open. He can do it all. But what's going to happen when he gets upset? What's going to happen when things aren't going his way? Will he throw Lamar Jackson under the bus the same way that he's done to Ben Roethlisberger? Will he attack the team? Will he attack the GM? And those are always questions you have to ask yourself.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.